been a minute, and we're excited to have you join us here once again. Let me ask, how are you really doing? My name is Jemima Basi, and if this is your first time here, you're welcome. Please do not forget to subscribe. At Amani Health, we talk about how important mental health is. It shapes the way we experience life, our everyday and daily experiences. So that's why we tell people that it's important to take care of your mental health, because if you don't take care of your mental health, it will always come back to affect you later. Today we have a very special guest in the house who is here to share her story. But before then, let's meet my amazing host.
Hello everyone, I'm sure that you've missed us just like we have. My name is Ayodele Fasui and it's an honor to be here again. And yes, like she said, we have a special guest in the house today and she'll be sharing her story. At the Money Health, we talk about why mental health is important. It's important in every area of our lives because without it, it affects every area of our lives. That's why we have programs like the Self-Love Challenge. We have an online therapy platform where you can go there, get therapy from the comfort of your home without having to stress, legal stress, and it's accessible from all over the world. Today we bring you a special guest, like I said earlier, who will be sharing with us the importance of taking care of our mental health. And I'm sure that we'll be able to learn from her story. So sit down, relax, learn, and be inspired. Okay, so yes, over to our special guest. How are you doing?
Fine,
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We don't take your presence for granted, and we are glad that you are here. So, yes, can we meet you, please?
Okay, my name is Carlo Priscilla. I'm from Abia State, actually. I work with a skincare company, and I'm a single mom. I have an 8-year-old daughter. So, yeah, and I'm still a student.
So, thank you so much for that introduction. So, Priscilla, we would like to hear your story. Please share with us.
Um, okay, and probably I have like phases, my growing up, how I got pregnant, and how I've been coping or how I've been surviving and all that. Okay. I came from a family where I have two step siblings. My mom had kids from my father, and we are five from my father. I'm the last child of my family. So growing up was a bit toxic. I grew up from a family where you see your mom and dad always beating themselves up, always fighting and all that. Yeah, that was where I grew up. And, I had this careless, my parents were just all about, they're not busy, but they're just about their life. We're probably ignorance, just doing their thing. And we the kids are left to figure out by ourselves, our life, do things on your own. So
Wow.
I started catering for myself, I think at 14. And my parents were there. So I was just trying to start, taking care of myself. Even while I was going to school, I always, my parents are always absent because even when we are doing like end of the term party or anything in school, PTA, my parents don't show up. So it got to a point, they just got used to this one, they don't show up. Even when we were like giving prizes in school, you see other kids, their parents come and take pictures. I don't have anybody to take pictures with me. So that's how I've been surviving on my own. So I came to realize I have to do it on my own. So at 14, I started, because my mom, she was just all about her own life. And everybody, I have my older siblings too. I expect them to take care of me. They are also fighting for their own lives too. So you're left on your own. So I started providing for myself. My older sister had to leave the house because she has a child at 16 too. 18 age. So when she got pregnant, she gave birth to her first child. After giving birth to her, she dropped out of school. And my mom said, okay, go and learn something. She started learning tailoring. From there, she got pregnant again. So she left the house. She just wanted to leave at all costs. She just wanted to leave. So my older siblings, the guys, everybody has left. So just me and my own immediate older brother that was left. So it got to a point I couldn't take it. At 2009, my parents we had issues. The landlord threw us out of the house. So we had to go and squat with one of my uncle because he was living in a 2-bedroom something. So it was one of the rooms. That was 2009. I was supposed to take my WAEC, junior WAEC, but my parents fought. They fought to the point they did it outside publicly, like, so it was bad. So then I was still not, so I went with my mom. My mom left, so I followed my mom and I was supposed to take WAEC. My dad didn't pay my WAEC fee then because of the whole trouble. He wasn't able to pay and all that, so I had to drop out of then. So when they resolved the issues, I had to go back to the government school and start all over again from GS2 because you cannot do WAEC if you've not registered. So that's how. But when I went to, it was a government school. When I went, there wasn't still because I was not used to the system of a government school. So I started playing, and started doing anyhow. Now it was new. I was new to the system, so I made friends. So I got to a point. I needed peace at all costs. So I dropped from SS2. I went to stay with my stepsister. As at then, my sister was in her 30s, and you know what it means when you're in your 30s, you're not married. So she loved me, she took care of me, but she had her own problem she was dealing with. So she was always going from prayer house, telling her she wants to get married at all costs. So anytime she comes back, they'll tell her my mom is responsible, or they'll tell her I'm the agent my mom sent to come and do something to her. So she'll pour out all her anger and everything on me. She would rain all curses on me. She would say different things. She made me feel like I was not good enough. She would tell me, look at how ugly you look. She kept on hurting me, but I didn't, I felt I already left trouble to come and meet peace, but I came to my senses, it was still the same thing. But I did not blame her. It was she had her own phase she was going through that period. So it got to a point. That was my first time of I think I was 16. I was thinking suicide at that point. That was my first time of writing a suicide note because home was not peace. My sister's place was not peace. So I started working. I had my first job at 15. That is trade fair. She works in the trade fair then, so she got me a job as a cashier. So I started
That
working
is your
as a
sister,
cashier.
but
Yes,
you
my
still. Oh, your
stepsister.
stepsister.
Yeah, she got me a job as a cashier inside trade fair where they sell motor because she works there too. So she wanted the person was her next door neighbor. So she was okay, so she could put an eye on me. So I started working there. So I was a day, I think after a month, so my boss said, go and collect something for one of my friend. Go and collect one of her goods. So I went there, the man was delaying because he had a lot of clients. So I had to wait. Then he gave when I came back, I told my boss that I was still naive. So I was gonna explain to my boss that look how your friend is saying that I should follow him to a hotel and all that. My boss was started screaming on me that started screaming at me that why what's his business? I want to sleep around. That's my problem.
So how old were you then?
I was 16.
Wow.
So the only person I've ever stood up for me in my life was the father of my child. As of then, I wasn't pregnant yet. So he was once because he was learning trade in the company. So where my sister works. So he was one that stood up to my boss like, why are you talking to her like that? You don't do that. So he stood for me. Even if my sister was there, she wouldn't have done that. She would have probably condemned me too. But he stood up and spoke to the man and said he shouldn't say that. Then he told me because I was crying. He said never cry. So that was where I found comfort in him. That was where I trusted him, and that was why I started having something to do with him because I felt he was the only one who had ever stood up for me because my parents. So that was how my journey started. So it got to a point I felt I already have somebody. So that's why I left my sister's place and went back home. So even if I go back home and home was not peace, I felt I had somebody I could
Okay.
rely on. So that was how I started. So it was in 2016 I got pregnant. So when I got pregnant, I tried to take it out because I didn't want to be like my sister. As at then, my sister already had 3 different kids.
Wow.
So I just didn't want to end up like my sister. So I started trying my own ways to take out the child. It didn't work. And I haven't told him I was pregnant. So when I told him I was pregnant, he told my mom. He came to see my mom, said he doesn't want anything. If anything happened to me, he doesn't want to be involved or
Who told you? The guy told
yeah,
you.
he told my mom, yes, that he's not in support of me doing an abortion because what if
Mm.
anything happens? So my mom was like, okay, fine. My dad was not around. If my dad come back, he should come back. So after 2 weeks, my dad traveled because he came back. He came to see my dad. He told my dad he got me pregnant. My dad was crying because I'm not like my dad's favorite child. Even if he was not, but he knows he loves me and he knows I'm intelligent. He wanted more for me. Even though he didn't have the ability, but he wanted me to do better. So he was disappointed at that point. But there's nothing he could do. So he said, fine. But my dad started avoiding me in the house, stopped talking to me.
Wow.
My immediate older brother too loves me that much, but my dad didn't tell him I was pregnant until I was like 7 months old. So that was like so when I was like 8 months plus, my stepsister came. She was about to get married. So that was where she found out I was pregnant, and I was almost some weeks to delivery. So she was very upset, and she saw him. Was like, "Oh, so you've been having something with my sister all this while and all that." She was very upset. She slapped him. She was angry, But I gave birth to my daughter that February 2016. So that was how that journey started. So I just felt okay. He was good to me. He didn't run away. He stood by me. So I felt okay. So that was what made the thing a bit relief for my parents, because my sister's own, most cases, they don't take responsibility. So my own case was like, okay, he was responsible. So as time goes on, he was providing for his child. But his mom and his family were not part of it. They did not show up during the whole pregnancy and everything.
Okay, so they were against the relationship.
They were against it, and they were not in support of it, and everybody
So
just.
did you at any point meet his family?
Yeah, when my daughter was, his mom didn't come when I was pregnant. Even when I gave birth, she didn't show face. So it was like my daughter was like 9 months old. So then he already had some money. You know, when I gave birth, when I was pregnant, he didn't have a job, and he got suspended by his boss that he was learning trade. But during the same time I gave birth, he got compensated. He gave him money to start up his own business. So he started. So before my daughter was like few months old, his business picked up. So he started seeing money. So my daughter was like 9 months old. He said I should bring her to the house. So I went. His mom said I can't stay in the house. I have to leave.
Was that your first time meeting her?
Yes, that was my
Wow.
first time meeting her. So she said I can't stay in the house. I have to leave with my
And
child.
that would be their own house. It was
Yes,
still living with
no,
him.
he was his house.
Oh, but
But
it's
you know how Igbo people are. You know, once
you're not
a
married.
son start making money, he becomes the family. He becomes responsible for everybody. So the sisters, everybody stays
we're
in the
living
house.
in the house.
So yes, that was why it was. So his mom said I can't stay in the house. I have to leave, and that was like 9 in the night with my 9 old. So it was a lot that night. So he told his mom that he can't send this girl home this night. So I stayed that night. I already know that I was not accepted. I already know. So I just but his sister was okay. She was nice to me, and so when my daughter was a year old again, I brought her to the house. But his mom was not, because she was only in the church. She was not raised in the house. So we did our 1 year old birthday and all. So his sister told me that because she already have her own challenges too, like her husband she was supposed to marry left her few weeks before the marriage. She told me not to rely that he's her brother, but I shouldn't depend on him. I should go and look for my own life too. So the brother said, my dad said, okay, he has always wanted me to go to school. So he said he can't be part of me going back to school, but he can put me to learn something. So I started learning hairdressing. And it was a time my dad said, okay, I should go back to somebody advised that I should go back to school. So my dad said, okay, fine, that he's going to enroll me to take a GCE or something so that I can start planning to go back to school. He had to enroll his own child into a school for her to start schooling. So that was, but during all this thing, he has always been off and on. Sometimes 3 months he will cut off. He will not send money. He won't
So sorry, I
send.
want to ask, during the time you guys were dating, did you at any point you didn't ask for his family or try to get to meet them, or you guys don't talk about his
I was
family?
just 16. It was not even like a relationship. It was just to me. To be honest, I later found out that he was just trying to just, you know what they say, just do and go. He did not have any intentions to.
So did he ever tell
Yeah.
you he loves you?
There was no, even if
It's
he said
not.
so,
I don't think
he
it
knows
was.
he knows I was naive and I was young, so he was just trying to just do his own and just yeah. That was it was later I found out that was his intention. That
Okay,
he
so
didn't
you
have.
took his affection for love.
Yeah, I was still young, so I just felt somebody
Is-
that this. When you're coming from a place nobody has shown you some certain, you just any little kindness just means a lot to
Exactly.
you,
Any
you get.
kindness.
If just small thing people do for you, just assume it's love, but because you've not experienced what that is, people
Yeah.
have not stood for you, you've not
Yeah.
been cared for, you've not been
Yeah.
loved. So
Yeah.
any little thing, that's why it's always in a mistake. Most girls make that mistake. A lot of us, because when we don't get people to really love us, when we just see small thing that men do for you, you just assume it's love. So
Yeah.
that was how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can continue.
Yeah, so and okay, he enrolled my daughter was like a year and 6 months. During all those while he was always 3 4 months, he won't show up. Sometimes he just cut me off and he knows I was not working. He will not send money, he will not do nothing. I could stay like 3 4 months without him sending anything.
Wow.
And I was not working. So I have a male friend where I was learning hairdressing there. He's a friend. He was always pained anytime he sees me in that place. Be like, Priscilla, don't talk to this person again. Because he pushed you through this pain. And anytime the guy shows up, my friend will be angry. So he will just leave like nothing happened. He will block me on all social media.
Wow.
He will not call, he will not respond. Then after some time he will show up again. Like he will act like nothing happened.
Wow.
And I was not working. I wasn't doing anything then. So he kept on going like that. So after I enrolled my daughter in school, and that was like one of the best schools in my area then, Ikorodu. My friend said, Priscilla, this guy that goes and come, if he goes, how are you going to pay this guy's school fees?
Hmm.
As at then, I was like, my friend is just being, maybe because it's not her, because she also has a child too. So she maybe because her father of her child is not responding, that's why she's just trying to. I didn't know my friend knew what she was saying. So before that term ended, he cut off again.
Wow.
So when the term resumed, the school came and like, your daughter, I said, please, I can't afford it. And her father has disappeared again. So please let her stay. They were like, no, 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 don't worry, we'll reach out to him. So started resume school. They said she should start coming, that they will reach out to him. After like a month, they tried again, they had to drop. So my daughter had to drop.
Wow.
So that was where the thing was. So my cousin, I had a cousin Naja. So my cousin said, okay, since you can make hair, let me look for something for you to come and do. So I came to Aja to get the place I came to get a job. I didn't get it. So my cousin had to talk to one of her friends. So I went for a job interview. The woman said, okay, I will employ you and all that. As of then, it was like 25K. I was so happy because it was a big deal for me. So I went back home to the woman said I was supposed to sign some certain documents, a guarantor and all that. So I remember I said, okay, my dad will sign the one, then I'll get someone else to sign the remaining one. So on that very Sunday, I actually went to his place. That Sunday, took my daughter to go and see him. There's this thing that he just have a way of manipulating things that even if he's wrong, I just don't see the wrong.
Like you end up being the one feeling guilty.
And the thing is, what was holding me there was at all costs, I did not want to end up like my sister. My mom already had kids from my dad. My sister already has 3 different kids.
So that was
So-
like a pattern.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to. I said at all costs, whatever I get, I must. I must to if I don't marry this person, that's it. Because I just didn't want to continue. So anytime he shows up, Priscilla, I'll just collect. So that very Sunday, I took my daughter to his place. I came back. My dad was the only one in the house. So I said, for someone that's resuming job for the first day, you can't go late. So, and Aja is always very busy on Monday morning. Let me go this evening so that tomorrow I can resume early. So I just dropped my daughter with my dad and said, okay, let me start going. It was not up to 10 minutes. I had an accident. So my dad was in the house. He said they called him that I had an accident. And I was unconscious for like hours. Then when I gained conscious, I was in hospital. So he said a bike man hit the bike I was in and I fell into the canal with my face. During the whole time, I spent like over almost 2 months in the house. He didn't come. He didn't show up.
Wow.
My parents called him. I had to do like some sort of X-ray on my head to be sure I had broken jaw. I had my teeth dislocation and he didn't show up. So I was at home for that 2 months with no money. No, my parents did everything they could because they had to. I was bleeding. So my dad had to do everything to make sure that I did not have any internal injury and I had like my nose was fractured. I had so many injuries. So my parents did all they could just to even save my life. So as I was sitting there at home, nothing was coming in. My daughter was hungry. There was no food. There was no money. There's nothing. She's not schooling. So I told my dad at some point, I can't sit like this. I have to go back. So my dad said, if I can. Since I was always crying. My dad was like, you not lose your leg, you not lose your hand. Why you was crying? So I left my daughter again. I went back to Aja. So the woman, because she heard that I had an accident, she said she was going to retain that space till I come back.
Wow.
So when I came back, I started working. My daughter was my mom. So as at the 25,000 they pay me, I will send 20,000 at home. I'll be left with 5,000 naira.
Wow.
I trek. As I'm saying this, I did not have a house.
Wow.
I was sleeping anywhere. There was no roof over my head. So I will send the money home. And when I send the money home, my daughter doesn't go to school. So I kept on doing everything I could to make sure that my daughter was okay. I would starve. Sometimes I trek long distance to work every day. There was no money. I had a school bag that has just my clothes. Anywhere I get to, I just, and I'll send that money home. My mom will not use it to pay my daughter's school fees. My mom will not use it to feed my child. So anytime I come home, I see my daughter always unkept. I know I was trying. I was doing everything I could to make sure that my daughter was okay, but my mom wasn't doing the right thing. So I came back one time. I had like a next door neighbor. The woman said, "Can I please come?" I came. She said, "I know you're doing your best for this child, but your mother was not doing anything about it." My daughter was in a class because she was not monitored. She was just in that school, just there. So the woman said, I know you're doing everything you could for this child, but you know your mother. So the best thing you can do is take your child. If you're sleeping under the bridge, take this child and sleep under the bridge with child. So I went back because I couldn't take her that time. I went back to where I was. So I was in the salon, I was working, they employed this new girl. So the girl was, when the office closed, I was standing outside. Rain was falling. Everybody was, because rain was not stopping. Everybody was trying to go back home. She was like, "Are you not going home?" I said, "I don't have a house. It's who has a house that is going home. I don't have a roof over my head." So she was like, "Wow." I was like, "Said okay, don't worry. I will talk to somebody. Then tomorrow I'll come back and tell you." So that's how she spoke to a Ghana. A man is a Ghanaian. He has a daughter, but his daughter is not with him. So she spoke to him. I was like, "Fine, I can come and stay." That's how I started staying with the man. Then
Was the man married?
no, he was, I think he's divorced, but he has a daughter, but she's not there at that moment. So the man said I can come and stay. So that's
So
why
he
I
was
said,
staying, the man was staying alone.
yeah, he was staying alone. So that's why I started staying with him. And when he heard everything, he was like, oh, okay. So he started, he saw, okay, I can be his daughter. So from there, I I couldn't bring my daughter to stay there. So that was why I met another of his brother. Ghana people, that are Ghanaians. So that's why I met them. That was like, so he said that one has a daughter and a son, and he's also divorced too. So he said, okay, I can come and his place is a bit comfortable than that place. So he said I can come and stay. So as of December that same year, I think 2018, I I was expecting to be paid salary because I wanted to send money home for my child Christmas and all that. I didn't know the company don't pay December, they pay January. So I was upset. Because once I'm angry, I will vent. I was upset. I was like, why would she pay and all that? So she saw it in the camera. She's like, why would I say something like? So she said she was going to fire me, and I know I didn't do anything wrong. So I said, fine, you can fire me. So I stopped working on the 27th. So he was the man that started accommodated me new, was one that got me another job with his boss daughter. So I told him that look at the state of my daughter. I want my daughter to come and stay. And as at then his daughter was already in Ghana. And his son was in Lagos, but he was always in the house and all that. So he said, fine. It was just me, him, and so my daughter can come and stay. The day I took my daughter from my people, I did not collect clothes. I just told my sister, just help me and bring her. I just want to see her. So my sister just brought her. That was it. I did not ask them for anything. I did not tell them bring her clothes. That was how I took my daughter. So when I brought my daughter, I started taking care of her, and it was painful for me because I wanted my daughter to have better, but my mom was not helping. And people usually see me, I'm like, you're young now, your mom is alive. Why are you struggling with your daughter? I said, I know where I came from. I know what my mom's carelessness and ignorance has put me through. I don't want my daughter to go through that life. Yeah, because as young as I am, I have a mom that's supposed to take care of my child. But if I'm doing it on my own, I should have a reason. People should know that there's a reason why I'm doing it. So it was not, growing up was not easy for me because I hear people say my mom is my best friend. I'll just look at them. I don't know my mom. She's just my mom. I did not have that. There was no love. There was no. I survived on my own practically. This when you become when you start growing, there are some things your mom should pull you through. When I was cool, I bought bra by myself.
Wow.
Yes, nobody. My cousin was already. Her mom already put her through the stages and everything. There was nobody. I would get my uniform like that and go to school. When I started seeing my mates were already wearing bra, I was like, the day I went to buy it myself. I was even shy. I was not trying to do mine. It belongs to somebody else.
Wow.
Do you guys ever talk? Yeah, your mom.
Yeah, we do, but she doesn't admit she's at fault. Yeah, so there's no point to me because anytime we talk about it, she already made the mistake with my sister and made it it got to a point. I was actually abused by my uncle. Yes, my dad's brother. I was abused by my dad's brother, and I didn't say because nobody would.
There was no point, really,
Yeah, there was nobody
because nobody
listening.
would have
Nobody
stood up
was
for you.
available, so there was no need saying it. It was later when I think it was 2 years back when I went to Ikorodu. I overheard my sister saying that my same uncle abused her. That was when I said, "Oh, so this." And you know the thing, when we even told her dad said it's a lie. So there was not even need to even say such thing. But I was just practically, I survived on my own. I became an adult when I was supposed to be a child. So that's why I tell people at all costs, my daughter cannot be with my parents because their ignorance and carelessness has damaged a lot of things.
Mm.
So I don't want her in that environment. On my own, the father has not even shown.
Till today.
Mm. Mm.
He's not, I've been responsible for my daughter's bills for as much as 6 to 7 years now.
Wow.
Doing it alone, paying school fees, feeding. He does even, I think he showed, it was last year. My cousin, no, 2020 during COVID. That was after 2018-19, he disappeared again. Because me and him spoke within 20, that time, before that time I had the accident. So before that time, he disappeared again. Then he showed face again, 2020, he was traveling to Dubai. He called me, he was on a plane. I was like, why are you calling me? Are you trying to show me that you are on a plane or what? Why are you calling me? He said, he just cut and he sent, after that time, he sent me 50,000 naira. Then COVID came, he came back to Lagos. The lockdown came. Then he started reaching out to me that is in lockdown. I said there's lockdown. What do you want me to do? I never knew he went to Dubai and things went rough. He came back to Lagos and he reached out to me. And then I was attending a church, Dominion City precisely. So they were like single moms. They were supporting us during the COVID time. And my then man, that man I was squatting with, there was food in the house. So there was money and so I wasn't lacking anything. So he reached out to me that this and that. I was sending him money just to help
Wow.
me. Yes, I was sending him money.
The father of your
Yes,
child.
father of my child. I got to a point.
Wow.
He's a beneficiary in my bank app. I was sending him money.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, I want to get you right. You mean after you've gone through all what you went through, after he abandoned you,
Yeah.
he called you again and you still sending money?
Yeah, I was sending him money.
Sister, you're really nice.
No, it's trauma.
Yes, I was sending him
trauma.
money. Then he
That's
he
just
showed up.
explanation.
He showed up 2020. He said he wanted to come. He came. My cousin was. It was me and my. Okay, then before that time, my godfather already left the house for us. So the company got him another apartment. So he left already. So now said he leave this place for me. So I didn't want to struggle with the rent. So I said, okay, my cousin should come and stay because my same cousin had brought me to the island. So when she was having her own accommodation, I said she can come and stay so we could be able to pay the rent. So he showed up.
In that house. So something
Yeah,
to
he
get
came.
right. So during this period, did you still have any feelings for him? Like, did you still hope that he would come back to you?
I had hopes that if he come back, I would stay
Accept it.
because of I just felt
Wow.
I cannot have children elsewhere. I
You
can't
still
do it.
wanted that relationship?
Yes, and it was not because I didn't know if I loved him or I just didn't want to be like my mom. That was just it. I just didn't want to be like my sister. Do you get? So I didn't mind. So when he came back, 2020, my cousin was Then he told me he bought some good from Dubai. He wanted to sell some slippers. I said, can I see? He showed me, and that was my area. So he came, he stayed, he visited, and all that because he owned a bed shop in Trade Fair before, so he was a bit familiar with betting. So he came to my area. I'd say like 2 days. Then he went to a bet shop. He played and he won I think 190. So he said if I can get him a shop in my area. So I did. I walked around.
Did you pay for it?
No, he paid for it this
Okay,
morning. So I
okay.
walked around. He got the shop. So he brought the slippers, but I did not know that he was buying them. He didn't come back with any goods. He went to the market, Arena Market. That's where he goes to buy them. So I was assisting him. At some point, I started talking to some guys in my area, helping him to sell. I never knew you had already done introduction with somebody else.
Oh my.
And it was in my house. He was eating my food.
My.
And I did not know that he was using me to survive.
So you had already done introduction with another lady?
Yes.
Wow.
So it was because of the lockdown. He would have gone to the east, but because of the lockdown, he's in Lagos. So he wanted someone he could use to survive.
Wow.
So that was who I was. So my cousin kept on telling me there's something wrong about this person. That there's this call he makes always and you know one thing about we women, there's this when something is not right. Yes, I was not at peace, but whatever I was looking for then was making me not look into it. My cousin kept on saying something is not right about this guy. So he continued. So I got to a point I was able to access his phone. So that was why I
Found
saw
out.
it. Do you know that he took a picture of the shop and I appeared in the shop and he told the girl that I was a sales girl.
Wow.
Yes, that's what he told the girl, that I'm a sales girl. So when I found out everything, I told you have to leave my house. The whole thing is scattered. It was messy. Told him to leave my house. Told him to leave my house and all that. That how can you do something like that? So in the whole issue, that girl. So the thing transpired. The girl found out about everything. So she said she was no longer interested. that she was not going to marry him
That's
anymore.
absolutely right.
So he now said because of what I did, that he was going to deal with me.
Wow.
He turned my cousin against me. He turned that my godfather against me.
Your cousin that you were staying with, that was staying.
Yeah. He told my cousin so many things that I said about her. Anybody could call a woman a prostitute is normal. He said so many things, so terrible things about her. Told her that I said so. He told my godfather too. So those people, I became
Wow.
like an outcast in my own space. My cousin doesn't talk to me.
Wow.
My godfather was helping me stop talking. He said if I had gotten my boss numbers or then he was going to tell my boss.
Wow.
Like everybody around me turned them against me. So I was 2020, I was depressed.
Wow.
I was frustrated.
Wow.
My cousin was in the house, she doesn't talk to me. At that same time, the landlord said I should leave the house. So my cousin was like, that serves me right. That now I
But
was.
she was living with you.
Yeah, that's how people, these manipulators, it's how they talk, they tell you things. There's not how they put it to you, you believe them. So my cousin was very upset. And her friend then was like, Priscilla, there's something wrong. There's something your cousin is not telling me. So I told her, she said so many things that she was not going to talk to me again. So I was frustrated, but there's nothing I could do. And she was leaving the house with me. So I was sometimes when I come out, she would say some things, she would throw shade at me, I would just pass. When my godfather comes to the house, they'll be together, I'll be alone.
Where was your daughter?
My daughter was there.
That's the question I wanted to
She was
ask.
there,
Well,
but my cousin didn't have to do anything towards my daughter. She was still the same loving auntie to my daughter. That was just the whole thing.
So just you.
It was just me. So I continued. And I was jobless. So during COVID 20, that was September, I got a job. A friend of mine said there's a job, somebody wants someone that will be grating soap and all that. It's not far away from my house. So I went, it was a 30,000 job. I did the interview, I got the job. So along the line, as time goes on, my cousin started, letting go. She explained this is what happened and everything. So he now reached out to me again. He said,
You
okay.
didn't even block him all this while.
No. It was he and my cousin were still in contact. So it was in 2021. He now reached out to my cousin that he's married now. He has his own kids. That he doesn't want to have his children separated. That he wants his child back. My cousin was like, which child? The one you pay school fees for? The one which of the child? So I told him, okay, I don't see my cousin, don't worry. So I had an auntie then. She's in Canada now. I told her that look at what I'm going through. She said, okay, don't worry, just tell him to get his own lawyer. We'll get our own, so we'll meet in court. That was how he stopped. He just stopped calling me. So it was last year, 2023. My cousin reached out to me that he has been reaching out to her that he wants to please, that he wants to have, like he wants to connect to his daughter again, he wants to take responsibility. I didn't want to listen. My cousin was like, please, so that they don't hold you that, when he wants to be part of his daughter's life, you do not allow him. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So he started calling, said he's married. I said, I don't care if you're married. That's not my business. You said you want to get close to your daughter. That's what they're doing. So he started calling her, even his mom. She was like, she's sorry about what she did to me and all that she's really sorry. I said, I don't care. This is people's child. So he started calling my daughter, started talking to my daughter. It was December last year. I told him, you can't be talking to her. You have to send her school fees. You have to send her feeding money. These are things you're supposed to be doing. So he said December, he traveled to the east. He said that he's doing something that he will start paying everything. Everything she will start by January. That's this year. And then December, I'm more like the one that's taking care of my family. So December like that, you have to do one or two things. December, send money home and all that. And I was supposed to take an O-level exam December. This is where you register for WAEC December. So I said, okay, since he said he's going to do this by January. Let me use what I have to register and do everything. After I did everything, he would call when he was in the village December time. He called. I said, okay, I wanted to go to market to get something for your daughter for Christmas. Send us money. I think they sent me 14,000 or so. That one left. January came. School resumed. I think school was about. I said, okay, school is about to resume. How far? He said I should not worry that he's bringing cash. And that time there was cash scarcity. That he's bringing cash. He has 100K cash that he's bringing it so that I will pay my daughter's school fees. So I believed him. After all these years of deceit and lie, I still believed him. I felt, I can give him a benefit of doubt. That time came. I kept on calling. I was texting him, I was calling him, he was not. So he said, okay, he has come to Lagos that day. He called me that day, said he's in Lagos. And can I come to Falomo? I said by 9 p.m. I should come to Falomo. If you take that money, that 100K cash to a POS, they even probably not collect charges from because they need the cash. Take it. If you really want to send money to your daughter, you take the money to POS and pay the 100K. You have my account number. Why do you want me to come to Falomo? He said, okay, I should not worry that he will come. Then he texted me, said, can you come and pass the night in my house?
That's
I said-
exactly what it was.
I said, you cannot come and pass the night in the house. It's not possible. I called, I texted, I cried. There's nothing I do not do because I can't afford my daughter to be at home. This guy did not reply. So I was crying. That January I was crying. It was my friend that now borrowed me 30K because I had to just drop something into school for her to resume. I cried. That was how this guy.
Disappeared again.
No, there was nothing. There was no, oh, sorry. There was nothing. So I have a friend, he's a mature man. So anytime he's someone that is like a confidant, someone I talk to, someone I told him about, he was laughing. He said, how can you be foolish after all these years?
The leopard never changes its
He said, how can you be foolish after this years? He said, don't ever make this mistake again. Don't ever. You've been doing this thing on your own. You focus on what you can do for yourself.
Exactly.
Leave him alone.
Exactly.
So it got to a point, it was June when I was writing my WIEC. My dad called, said he's worried about me. I said, what happened? He said, why am I, like, I can't be able to, I'm struggling to help figure out my own life because of this child. I'm literally the one doing everything. That he wants to reach out to him. And I told my dad, whatever it is, please don't involve me. Whatever you want to discuss with him, that's between you and please, I don't want to be involved. So my dad called him. He said he's going through a lot and that. He has been going through. My dad now called me back, said he's going, see, look at what he's telling. I said, I don't care. He's going through a lot. I'm going through my own a lot. So everybody's going through a lot their own. Please, everybody feels their a lot, you know. And there are some decisions you make in life. There's repercussion for it.
Exactly.
So he made his own bad decisions and now he's paying for it. I told my dad I cannot be part of it because he's trying to play the pity party. I told my dad he's gone. He's in the past. I rather be single without a husband than to be with that person. Besides, he's married. What's my business? So he was not telling my dad the story how he married. I told my dad I beg.
Your marriage didn't work.
Yes, I don't care. I told my dad I don't care. So my dad reached out to me and I said, okay, that he's going to, by July, he's going to start. Till this is July till now. His number is not going through. My dad cares. I said, my dad, see, just rest. My older brother is very worried about me because he knows I'm intelligent and he wants me to be educated. I told him that I'm not the first person to be a single mom. And that has struggled and got to the ladder of life.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the last person.
Yeah.
It may be tough, but I'll get there. So I just told my dad not to worry. I know people are worried about me, but I am not the first person. So I've been doing this, even though it's not easy. Raising up a child as a single parent comes a lot of challenges because even your child has her own challenge she's going to go through.
Exactly.
Sometimes my daughter comes home and says, Mommy, I said, don't worry. Sometimes you call me, say, where's my dad? Why is my dad not showing up? I said, I wish I can explain. I wish I could give you a better life. But this is what I have now. So I'm even feeling bad for my child that she's going through this. You know, we have a neighbor. Anytime the man comes back, he will buy popcorn for his kids. They will be happy, oh, daddy. But my own child, then he gives her the popcorn, she'll bring it home. Every time I told him, I said, the fact that you choose to be absent in the life of this child.
Wow.
And, you made her go through all these things.
Yeah.
This is what I have. So I know it's not easy, parenting a child alone. There's the emotional place, there's physical place. Sometimes I'm drained, financially. Recently now, I just moved her into a new school because her former school, she wasn't doing well. And even my boss, and the good thing is God has given me good friends. And my boss is very supportive. Anything I said I want to do, she's always very supportive. So I moved her to a new school and the bill was a lot. And recently it has been very overwhelming because the school fees is a lot, but I just want to be better. My sister has now 6 kids.
You one you told us about.
Yeah.
Wow, 6
Yeah, I kissed her
From
since.
from
different.
different men.
Yeah, from different people. And I had her first daughter with
Wow.
me. Her first child, because I was one that took care of her first child, because when she gave birth to her first child, I was still a child too. So
Wow.
I was taking care of her first daughter, and I just wanted her daughter to also do better, because I wasn't expecting my sister to make the same mistakes
Mm.
after her mother's mistakes.
Mm.
But even right now, I'm not in talking terms with my sister,
Wow.
because I heard when they told me she was pregnant again and married to one man. I told her that after having 5 kids, what do you want? You've not fixed yourself. You've not, do something concerning this. Just giving birth to these kids. What about their life?
Mm.
You see where we are coming from. You see the kind of parents that raised us. You see the mistake it has caused. And it's hurting me that you're letting these children go through the same thing.
Because they're the ones that will suffer.
It's the kids.
It's the
I'm even the one trying to, like, I came to realize that my sister has the same mindset my mom has.
How many children did your mommy have before marrying your dad?
They were 3, one died.
Mm.
Yeah, they were 3 and one of them died. So we had just 2. Then plus we
That's 5. That's
7. Yeah.
Wow.
So I told my sister, you let this same thing that my mom did, you're continuing from there. Now her kid, she doesn't know how her kid goes to school. She
Wow.
doesn't know how they school.
Wow.
One of her son, the second son, the father died.
So, but she's still in her husband's house.
Yeah, in her husband's house.
It's just the other, the one.
The last one she gave birth to, the 5th one is one. The man said she shouldn't bring any of the kids.
Wow. So where are they now?
Then they were my parents.
Wow.
As I'm talking to you now, her first daughter is working.
How old?
Same age when I was.
Wow.
Wow.
Because she was staying with me. It got to a point, the responsibility was overwhelming. I couldn't foot it anymore. So I said, no, I'll just go back home. She was crying because she knows
She didn't
I want
to
better
go
for her,
back.
but I can't. So I told her to go back. And right now, I think she's 17 now. She's working.
Wow.
She has to be working. And she calls me every time. Auntie, please, can you send me money? If I have something, I have to borrow. Because I know what it means to be a girl and not being properly taken care of. I was there. I wasn't properly taken care of. I was not provided for. And these things will make them start doing what they're not supposed to do.
Mm.
Because there's no care. My mom don't care. The way I am, my mom doesn't call me. Sometimes last year, I said like 9 months, she doesn't call me. She doesn't ask me whether you have eaten, whether she just call me on the phone to say I need money. Whether I'm going to steal it, whether I'm going to prostitute, she doesn't care. All she knows is give me money.
Wow.
And that was how she was able to mislead my sister. Because she was always sending, go and bring money.
Wow.
There was a
Aside that, your older sister, do you have another sister? Or you guys are just 2 girls?
We had 3. My stepsister, my own immediate sister, is one that has these 6 kids. So my stepsister now does not have any child.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was just me and this my own sister that has kids. So it got to a point. My stepsister and my mom they're not in talking terms because she has her own anger that my mom abandoned her. So that's she and my mom they're not in good terms because my mom said when she gave birth to her, she left. So she left that behind. So you know what that is, that your mom left you, and so she doesn't want to have anything to do my mom. She came to stay with us in the house because my dad accommodated them, but she prefers my dad to my mom.
Wow.
She doesn't like my mom. So that's that one's case. So but because my older sister was close to my mom, so my mom was able to go and bring money. Doesn't care whether you steal it, whether you're selling yourself, bring money. There was a time my mom had issues with my sister because of a man gave my sister money to give her and she did not give it to her.
Interesting.
My mom dragged my sister. It was not funny. My mom dragged my sister. The whole compound heard it that she dragged.
Yes,
Wow.
how did she know the man gave you your sister? The man
Told her. Oh my.
And my sister ate the money, so she was very upset. Why would my sister do something like that? So
Wow.
it was so I just felt I was never close to my mom right from time. So maybe that's why my own case was a bit different. Or maybe life wanted me to be different. So I was never close to my mom. I was never my mom's favorite. She doesn't like me. And maybe because I'm someone that talks too much. So she doesn't like me. Even when once I'm around, like I beg you talk, she just doesn't like me. And the way I was raised, we're like there's a separation. Me and my stepsister and our first son, that's our dad's own. Then the rest, my mom can go to mountain down for those ones. But for you, you're joking. So even when I wrote that exam, I told you my dad had, because the first son, so he had already sold some land in the village. When he came back, he gave me 14,000 naira to buy my GCE form. Do you know my mom set the house on fire because of 14,000? Now they must give my older siblings money. So my dad was like, "Ah, how much is the money? 14,000. She's your child now." Mom said no. That how can they give me and not give the rest? That house, and I told you my siblings was against me. My older siblings were against me because of that money. That how could my dad give me money? And I'm the youngest, the last child for that matter. So when he got to, I think it was 2018 December, I bought a wrapper. I told her that person that you rejected, that person that you do not like, is that person that is caring for you. Those ones that means a lot to you, where are they today? You call them, they will not show up for you. But when you are hungry, you call me. When you need money, you call me. When you need food, you call me. But you never liked me. But those ones you chose over me are the ones that don't care. Our second son is in, me and him are staying in the same place. I stay in Aja. I stay close to VDC. My immediate brother stayed at Jakonde. Our second born. He doesn't know where I stay. My mom will call him that she needs, he will not show up. But my mom will call me that she's hungry. I will send money to her. My older brother will always call me, Priscilla, have you heard from mommy? Have you heard from? Those are the ones she doesn't like. She doesn't like us. But today, it's us that are always caring that she's okay. She's all right. So she already separated us. So the thing already, there's already a separation. My immediate sister, I told her, I was only advising her that you can't be having kids without, you can't do it. Then my sister said I should mind my business, and she cut off. She just stopped talking to me. I told myself, I said, I did not do anything wrong. I just told you because I wanted it to be better. But if this is the case, it's fine. Do whatever I want to do with your life. I don't care. So at this point, I'm not in talking terms with my sister. Our second born called me, said I should send him money. I said, you are my older brother. Have you ever contributed a dime into my life before? Have you ever asked me how I'm surviving? Or have you ever sent money to my daughter before? You called me that you need money. Did you know if I had money? That's how my brother blocked me. He was angry, he was upset. I don't know what gave them that mindset that I have money. They will call me and ask me. So he blocked me, stopped talking to me. And I said, fine, you yourself can just be on your own. So I told myself that I choose to forgive my mom. I don't know if I've done that or if I'm just saying it. Not because she deserves it. Or not because she was a good mother to me. But because I don't want to become what I hate the most. I just want to be a better mother to my child. So I just choose to let go. Even when she calls me on the phone, I talk to her normally. I'm not angry. Because and when people say mother, my mom is this, I just look at you guys are joking, because if what I went through was having a mother, I don't want to go through that lane again. So I don't want it. So I always tell people, I just want to be a good mother to my child. That's all I want to do.
Okay, so this is actually a whole lot. And Priscilla, I must say, I'm so sorry you had to go through all this.
Yeah.
So we are supposed to have a session whereby we have a therapist on this episode. So she could also say one or two things from her own experience. Because this is a lot to take in, actually. We'd have to continue this episode again so that we can just relax. And most times there's a lot you take in and you don't know what to say. But then we have a therapist here that would want to invite probably on our next episode that would also have something to say and what she could probably tell Priscilla. So thank you so much for being a part of this show. To come your way next time. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to this life-changing transformational videos. In these videos, you'll be learning real-life practical strategies on how to manage overwhelm, burnout, excessive worry, feeling of helplessness, and so many other emotional challenges. Yes, we know we currently live in a fast-paced world, and sometimes it may seem like you can hardly catch your breath. We are under so much pressure from work, from family, from so many quarters, and you just feel like running away somewhere. You just feel like you are surviving, you are not actually enjoying yourself. Well, if you are in this situation right now, help is available, and you don't have to stay in that current situation that you are. You can start to rebuild your life today. Watch these videos, implement the knowledge that you will gain from it, because yes, the The solution that you are looking for is in the implementation. There are practical, actionable steps that you can take after watching these videos that would help you to that place where you want to be. So I highly recommend that you watch these videos, download the workbook, do the activities, and implement. That is where your solution lies. And also remember, sharing is caring. So share the link with your friends, with your family, and even those that you don't love. Yes, everyone needs this message. So let's get started.